Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on what is the traditional territory of the Coast Salish Nations. And today I'm sharing with you my budget check-in for April 2020. Before we get started, I just want to say hey, I hope you're doing well. These are obviously tough times right now. If you're someone who has had a reduction in hours or lost their jobs, I hope that you're aware of the stimulus package unemployment expansion, and I'll drop some links below, as well as small businesses and independent businesses, or independent businesses qualifying. So I'll drop some links below. And if you are someone who is currently working on the front lines, if you were working at a grocery store, if you're working in healthcare, if you are delivering things to people who need it or moving things around to restock places that need it, I just want to say thank you. It's very much appreciated. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this budget is a little bit different because while my full-time job at this moment does feel very secure, my extra adjunct teaching gig that I usually have, I won't be having that in spring. We just had a lot of classes canceled, and I actually offered to give up my class because other people whose main income is teaching, adjunct teaching, had less classes. So I went ahead and gave that up, and they took me up on it. So I will be bringing in about $3,500. So that extra $500 will be from the end of my winter class, my last paycheck for that. So yeah, I think if you've watched any of these from the summer, my income's usually about $3,000, and so it will be that from now on. But this month, $3,500. Definitely very thankful for that. Interest income is $1,511. I've already received that. Interest rates are going down across the board, as I'm sure you're all experiencing, but I still did make $1,511, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to scroll down, and my radical intersectional feminism area sharing, I'm really committed to keeping that up as long as I have secure income. I will keep doing my regular amount of sharing, as well as my 2% for art, which it's really just buying art from independent artists. So it's, win-win for everyone involved. So then I'm going to scroll down, and before I talk about savings, I just want to talk about retirement really quick. I normally would put $500 in, and that is because my goal is to max my Roth for the second year. And I know that the market is down, and so some people recommend this is a good time to buy in. I do want to buy in, but just to ease my own anxiety, I'm also just putting half of that into my emergency fund. So for right now, I'll do that, and as things start to ease up, or as we see ourselves getting sort of through this, then I'll go ahead and dump that in to my Roth IRA. But for me right now, I've got that extra income going into my emergency fund. Okay, savings as usual, I'll put that $1,511 in there. Why do I put my interest income into a different savings account? The online bank I have just does that, and I just think it's kind of fun to watch that grow really specifically. So that's why I do that. No other reason. I'm going to scroll down to housing. I was playing around with some different numbers. Okay, so I'm going to plan for $800. My housemate lost her job. I did lower her rent for April, which we paid in March. It seems like because of the stimulus, because of the unemployment expansion, hopefully she will be good in April. I'm going to go ahead and plan for that 800, but I don't know that that's really sustainable for me moving forward. So I just really need to think about that, but at least I want to budget for that for at least one more month. And then as that time approaches, we'll discuss what makes sense. Okay, going into electricity, 40 as usual. Phone should be the same, 60, about 63. Internet, as always, 79.95. Thank goodness for internet right now, right? Going into groceries, I'm going to do 400, and actually I need to change this. So I need to pay, I think I mentioned this, I'm going to do a community supported agriculture or CSA share this year from a local farm. And I paid the first installment $200, and I just paid this morning actually the second installment, which was $195. So $400 for, I think it's like 14 weeks or something of fresh veggies delivered to your house. Or not, maybe they're not delivered, maybe I picked them up, but you get a box of fresh veggies every week. So that's going to come out of that. And then I am going to try to stay under $200 for my groceries this month, because I did do a little bit of, I wouldn't say stocking up. I certainly didn't stockpile, but I did stock up a little at the end of the month. So I'm just going to do my best to use what I have and only really get what I need this month. I'm not going to call it a challenge. Restaurants, just as usual, $100. I am, I actually am just like hoping to get some takeout maybe once a week from the places downtown that are still operating as a way to support them, and honestly just as like something fun to do. Normally I get takeout. I do try to get takeout as like a fun thing with friends, but a lot of time it's like between jobs or when I'm busy. And so as long as I feel comfortable and I've got that stable income, I'm gonna keep this category open. Household, I'm putting 210 toward this month, and that's because I have a purchase that I've been thinking about for a while. If you saw my wants list, it's on there. Basically, my bed is a mattress on the floor, and I have been really thinking about upgrading like the mattress and a bed frame. I'm not going to be upgrading a mattress anytime soon. That's a bigger purchase, but I think that I may decide. I think that I decided to get a bed frame because as I'm suddenly spending more time in my house, I just feel like it's been on the list for a long time as I would really like to have, but I sort of feel like it's like need is not the right word, but I think the time has come. All right, I'm going to stop making excuses for that now and move right along. Kitties, I just every month have to dish out a lot for these guys. I actually just bought, this will pay for their food, which comes every month. And then I also bought basically a summer's worth of flea medicine. And if any of you use Revolution, you know it's a little bit on the pricey side. So I basically picked up 2 doses from the local vet because that's what they had at the moment. And then I just ordered the 6-pack from Chewy. I've been just trying to get that stuff done with. And of course, the ones from the local vet were a bit more expensive than buying the 6-pack. But both my cats have their flea medicine now, and the stuff has not come in from Chewy yet. So $258.84 is the point of that. Gas, I've moved it down to 60. I've really not been driving much, obviously. I have about half of a tank still. I only filled up once in February, so I'm going to put this at 60 just in case I need it, but we'll see what happens. Car registration, as always, is 10. Entertainment, Hulu is $6.51. Fun is 100. I'm going to leave that for right now. I didn't use, all of it last month, and I may not use all of it this month, but I feel like it's only the 4th, and I've already spent kind of a fair amount of money. There's just so much more time to think, and I don't think it's a good idea to necessarily spend that time spending money, but I also don't want to blow my budget because I haven't planned for it. So it feels reasonable to keep this category in. Let me know what you think down below. What are you doing in terms of that type of category for your budget? All right, I'm gonna scroll on down. Auto insurance, 98 as usual. Renter's insurance, 10. And then I'm actually just gonna go all the way down to debt. Student loans have been suspended. I personally use FedLoan, and they've finally updated on their website that they will be automatically suspending. My March payment did go through, and I guess according to this bill, I could request a refund. I'm not going to do that, but I definitely am going to take advantage of the suspension because, one, that's more money that I can just put towards my suddenly more expensive rent, or I can put towards my emergency fund. And because I'm doing public service loan forgiveness, one really nice thing about this bill is that those non-payments count toward your public service loan forgiveness count. So that's great if you're doing public service loan forgiveness, FYI. Okay, so now let's go ahead and scroll up here to sinking funds. As I mentioned last month, I'm going to continue putting money towards my goals. I'm just going to basically put the money towards my goals, but my two big goals, car upkeep / replacement and down payment, are essentially extensions of my emergency fund should I come to need them during this uncertain time. So I'm going to do about, well, no, let's see, 300 into the car upkeep, and then see if this comes out the way I want it to. 253.70. Sure, that looks good. So yeah, I'm gonna sort of split that between car upkeep and down payment for some future dwelling. And those will also essentially be extensions of my emergency fund. And that is my budget for the month. Let me know down below how you're doing. Let me know if you're dealing with unemployment and if you have any tips that you've learned about, like the stimulus package and all of that stuff, student loans, unemployment expansion, small business support. If you've got any deets down below, let us know. All right, have a great rest of your weekend, and I hope you're doing well.